It's in the refrigerator.
Missed that. Plus, Game 5 of the Heat Celtics. What the Celtics need to do to stay alive, and adjustments that we're going to see from the Heat without a...
Again, looking to keep their season alive at home against the Heat in Game 5. Jimmy Butler has been tremendous in series-clinching Heat games, averaging over 23 points per game. Only LeBron has a higher such average in Miami history. On the other side, Jaylen Brown, he just needs a big night. Shooting 39% from the field, on pace to be his second lowest in any postseason series of his career. Despite Brown's struggles, the Celtics look like a completely different team in the second half of Game 4. First 3 games of the series, Boston shooting just 29% from 3. Game 4, they shot 40%, a mark that has led to success for the Celtics. Mindset earlier today from Al Horford.
We have to respond. Our backs are against the wall, and we have to respond tonight and make sure that that the crowd is ready to go too, and that we're able to handle business. We put in so much work throughout the year, and being in this moment, it's kind of where you want to be. So, I'm just excited about this opportunity we have tonight.
Most certainly a big opportunity indeed here is Brian Windhorst joining us now live from TD Garden. We'll get to the Celtics in a moment, but Windy, let's get an update. The Heat will be without Gabe Vincent tonight after rolling his ankle in Game 4. How is Miami preparing to overcome his absence?
Well, they're in good position because they have Kyle Lowry, who's a high-level backup that they can give extra minutes to. But Lowry has been better when the Heat have kept his minutes down this year. So look for a bit of a point guard by committee. They're already down 2 other guards, Kevin. They're down Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo. So watch for Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler to both get time playing point guard in this game. Adebayo had 9 assists playing partial point guard in Game 2 the last time they were here, and Jimmy Butler is always comfortable handling the ball. A committee to replace Gabe Vincent.
Jimmy, they're asking him to step up. He loves the big moment. Meanwhile, the Celtics, they have really struggled at home. 10-11 on their home floor over the last 2 postseasons, including 2 home losses in this series. Who has to step up for Boston if they're going to send this series back to Miami for a Game 6?
Well, there's a lot of talk always around Jason Tatum, but you just mentioned a minute ago how Jaylen Brown has struggled. They've got to get more offensive output from him. He is just 3 of 25 in this series on 3-pointers. He's averaging almost 7 points less than he did in the last round, and he is averaging almost 10 points less than he did during the regular season when he was a second-team All-NBA player. They need more production from Jaylen Brown if they're going to extend this to Game 6 back in Miami.
The Celtics, by the way, 5-1 in these playoffs when Jaylen Brown records at least 25 points. Windy, thank you so much with the very latest from Boston ahead on SportsCenter. More on how the Heat are planning to adjust with Gabe Vincent out for tonight's crucial Game 5. We'll go back live to Boston. Elle?
And so are the Celtics back home. That's after living to see another day, staving elimination on Tuesday night. Certainly Jimmy Butler did everything that he could in the loss. 29 points in Game 4, scored almost half of their points in the second half. Can the Heat wrap things up tonight as the Eastern Conference playoffs continue? We've got reporters really on both sides that are covering both teams for us. Nick Riddell with the Heat, Tim Bontemps with the Celtics, and I'll actually start right there with the home team and Tim Bontemps. Celtics finally looked formidable in Game 4, right? That's what we've been waiting on. So what are they saying about what they're going to hope to carry into Game 5?
Well, Elle, what they're hoping to carry into Game 5 is, as you said, that the Celtics finally began to look like themselves in that Game 4 win in Miami. That's exactly how Al Horford described it this morning at shoot-around, saying he liked what he saw from Boston defensively, and he liked the way the ball was moving offensively. And you could see how that went in the three-point shooting in that game. Miami shot 48% from 3 over the first 3 games of the series, dropped to 25% in Game 4. Boston shot 29% from 3 over the first 3 games of the series, and then shot 40% from 3 in Game 4. Celtics are now 37-2 when they hit 40% of the three-pointers this season. And that's really going to be the key thing to watch, Al, moving forward in this series. Can Boston continue to generate those open looks on offense, and can they get into the Miami Heat three-point shooters on defense? If they can, the Celtics feel very confident they can continue to climb back into this series. And by the way, Al, if the Celtics can win this game at home tonight, they're only going to be the second team ever that was a higher seeded team to go down 0-3 to even force a Game 6. That was the Orlando Magic, who lost Game 6 in 2010 right here to the Boston Celtics. So we'll see if Boston can continue to get back in this series, continue to hit some shots, and get a little bit closer to potentially making history.
Yeah, the odds makers like it. They're taking the momentum wave. They're 8-point favorites right now, are the Celtics on the home floor tonight, despite the fact that they're 0-2 there in this series. Meanwhile, here's Gabe Vincent of the Heat earlier today addressing his absence for Game 5 tonight. Listen.
It's really unfortunate. I'm a competitor. I love to compete with my guys, and it's definitely the highest stakes, and so I'll be here supporting them and watch them do their thing tonight.
What's the balance between players doing more with Gabe being out versus trying to do too much?
Yeah, I don't think that's really an issue. Everybody understands their role. We don't need guys stepping out of the box. But we've been at our best when a bunch of guys have contributed and done it within the flow of what we're trying to get accomplished.
Time now for Nick Friedel, who is covering the Heat in this series. Nick, Gabe Vincent's absence is a huge storyline in this game. Let's specifically talk about how great he's been. I mean, in this series, he's shooting 50% from three. What will be Miami's plan without him tonight?
Kevin, they're feeling great about that plan because they have Kyle Lowry. And Eric Spoelstra said this morning, he is our Hall of Fame quarterback. Now, Spoelstra hasn't revealed whether or not Lowry will start. But, Kevin, what we know for sure is he's going to play a lot of minutes. This is a Heat team that trusts him on the floor. He brings stability to the group. He has a rhythm with Jimmy Butler, and he's played in huge games in his career and, of course, won that title in Toronto. So the Heat feel like they can overcome the absence of Vincent because they believe that Lowry can rise to the occasion. This is a Heat team that knows exactly what they're going to get from Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo said after Game 4, I've got to be better and I've got to do more. And they feel like they can plug Lowry in for big minutes, and he can lift up everybody else's game around him.
You know, one thing to keep in mind tonight, the Heat have not lost back-to-back games since